Hello. In this video, I'll be discussing VNX SnapSure. Here is the agenda for the video. We'll start with an overview of SnapSure, followed by a demonstration. Then we'll discuss some of the benefits of SnapSure, and end with where you can find additional resources. SnapSure allows users to create checkpoints, which are point-in-time views of a production file system. These are non-disaster recoverable copies of production data. Checkpoints consume less disk space than a full copy, while being easy to use for end users. Checkpoints can be used to restore individual files quickly and easily, create true point-in-time backup copies, and test production changes offline. In the following demo, we will walk through creating a checkpoint and checkpoint schedule in Unisphere, restoring individual files, and restoring a whole file system from a checkpoint. Let's move on to the demonstration. Once you have logged into Unisphere, select your system from the All Systems drop-down list. Click the Data Protection tab. Click on Snapshots, then click on File System Checkpoints. Checkpoints that have already been created will be listed here. Click the Create button. First, select the production file system you want to create the checkpoint for. In this demo, we will use the file system called Marketing. We will leave the writable checkpoint box unchecked to create a read-only checkpoint in this demo. Next, specify a name for the checkpoint. Because this is the first checkpoint on this file system, we will need to choose how to configure checkpoint storage for this and all future checkpoints. We will accept the default of storage pool. We will also accept the default capacity and high watermark percentage for the purposes of this demo. Click on OK to create the checkpoint. The checkpoint we created is now displayed in the window. We can also set up a schedule to create checkpoints at predetermined times. This is helpful when you want to have a checkpoint routinely created at a certain time of the day or week, such as during off-peak hours. To create a checkpoint schedule, click on the Schedules tab. This tab will show any existing checkpoint schedules. Click on Create. A window appears where we will configure the checkpoint schedule. First, choose the production file system for the schedule. We will select our marketing file system from the drop-down menu. Next, provide a name for the schedule. Let's create a schedule that will create a checkpoint every night at 2 a.m. during off-peak hours. We will name the schedule Nightly Checkpoint. Checkpoint names can either be named based on the time they were created or numbered sequentially with a user-specified prefix. We will choose the prefix Nightly, which will name our checkpoints Nightly 1, Nightly 2, etc. Next, we'll provide a description for the schedule. The next several fields allow you to specify the dates, times, and days of the week you want the checkpoints to be created. We will keep the default of every 1 day and specify it to run at hour 2, since we want the checkpoint to be created every day at 2 a.m. Finally, we will choose to keep 7 checkpoints. This means that the first checkpoint will be deleted when the 8th is created. Click on OK to create the schedule. The checkpoint schedule has now been created and can be seen in the window. Next, we will show how to restore individual files from a checkpoint. Prior to this demo, I created a test share in the marketing file system that we made a checkpoint of earlier. I also populated the share with some data. We will delete 2 files from the share now. Right-click the window and click Properties. Click the Previous Versions tab. Click Open to open the checkpoint we created earlier. To restore the files we deleted, simply copy the files from the checkpoint back to the share. The files have now been restored. Another way to recover files is to append .ckpt to the end of the address. This will show all previous versions of files from checkpoints that have been made for this file system. This method is supported by NFS clients. To restore a file system from a checkpoint, go back to the Checkpoints tab in Unisphere. Click the checkpoint you want to restore and click Restore. Before the file system is restored, a snapshot of the current file system will be created in case you want to restore to it later. Provide a name for this new checkpoint and click OK. The file system has now been restored. SnapSure is a space-efficient way to have multiple non-disaster recoverable copies of production data. SnapSure makes it easy to recover individual files as well as test changes in a sandbox environment. For more information, see the Using VNX SnapSure documentation on support.emc.com.